Yesterday, the House of Representatives hauled in a bunch of members of the Trump administration, including a little-known man by the name of Michael Glasheen, who happens to be in charge of one of the FBI's domestic terrorism units. And during his testimony, he proudly proclaimed that Antifa is, in fact, the biggest threat to security here in the United States. Antifa. So, naturally, lawmakers had some questions for Mr. Glasheen that he was hilariously unable to answer, to the point where he sat there in stunned silence, proving that he was lying his butt off. The best line of questioning, of course, came from Democratic Representative Bennie Thompson. And here is how that went. Take a look.
Executive Order Domestic Terrorist Organization, Antifa. That's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What does the FBI say?
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing. Right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States does Antifa exist? Yeah. If it's a terrorist organization and you've identified it as number one.
We are building out the infrastructure right now.
So what does that mean? We're trying to get the information. You say Antifa is a terrorist organization. Tell us as a committee, how did you come to that? Where do they exist? How many members do they have in the United States as of right now?
Well, that's very fluid. It's ongoing for us to understand that. The same, no different than Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
No, I don't want you. I'll ask one question, sir. I just want you to tell us. If you said Antifa is the number one domestic terrorist organization operating in the United States, I just need to know where they are, how many people. I don't want a name. I don't want anything like that. Just how many people have you identified with the FBI that Antifa is made of?
Well, the investigations are active.
Sir, you wouldn't come to this committee and say something you can't prove, I know. I know you wouldn't do that. But you did.
Now, when somebody asks you a question about something you just said, and your response is to sit there for 3 full seconds, if not longer, not being able to say a word because you don't know the answer to the question about the thing you brought up, then you're lying. Like, there is no other interpretation of that. Mr. Glasheen was absolutely lying about the threat that Antifa so allegedly poses to all of us. It was a complete fabrication, and he got exposed by Bennie Thompson right there. That was absolutely brilliant. That is what I want to see more of as we continue through these next 4 years, or 3.5 years, I should say, of the clown car from the Trump administration. They lie without even thinking about it. They just say things because that is how this conservative MAGA movement operates. They never get challenged. They never get questions. They never have anyone actually provide any real meaningful pushback. And the second it finally happens, they fall to pieces. That man that we just watched sit there in stunned silence should not have a job. And for the record, I'm not just talking about with the FBI. This is the kind of person that should be unemployable. Like, he shouldn't even be able to get a job, sweeping the streets. He should just be one of those people that has to be unemployed forever because he's so grotesquely incompetent. Here's what gets me, though. Did a little digging on Mr. Glasheen here. Donald Trump, this administration, they're not the ones Who actually put him in power, believe it or not? No, that was Merrick Garland, President Biden's absolute disgrace of an attorney general. Merrick Garland is the one that put that incompetent buffoon in charge of the Domestic Terrorism Office in the Chicago field office of the FBI. Merrick effing Garland did that. I have repeatedly said that, I was happy for the most part with Biden's administration. There were things I wanted to see done better, things I wanted to see done that didn't get done at all. But the one thing I will never be okay with, and I said this all 4 years, was his choice of Merrick Garland as Attorney General. Merrick Garland, while not as bad, obviously, as the people during the Bush years or Pam Bondi today, he still is one of the worst. And that's never going to change. But Biden picked him because he felt bad for him because Mitch McConnell stole his Supreme Court seat when Obama tried to appoint him. He is trash, much like the man he picked that sat there like a moron on Thursday. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.